What's up, guys? This is the Lobster Freak, and today I'm gonna introduce you guys to a very little friend of mine. His name is Steve, and he is my bearded dragon, and I worked very hard to get him. So I'm gonna show him off, show him his home, his hideout, his hangout, and you guys will get to meet the Steve Man. So this is Steve. Little backstory on him. I got him from PetSmart. Now, I know PetSmart mistreats their animals and all that stuff, but I'd actually been looking at breeders online, and the way that worked was, you paid up front on the internet, on their website, for a dragon that you've never seen before, and then they ship it to you. And I was a little put off by that. They just throw their baby lizards into the mail and hope for the best, because I've been reading online some people had gotten dead lizards in the mail. I'm like, okay, that's not good. Then I was also thinking about going to a reptile show, which would have been my best idea, best thing to do. But I don't know, I never planned on getting a lizard from PetSmart. Well, but in the past, I've had leopard geckos, and I had one leopard gecko, his name was Vader, and I was really young. And I got him from PetSmart, and I had him for 5 years, but he passed away from metabolic bone disease. And then I got another one, he died from, I forget, no, Vader died from impaction. My other one died from metabolic bone disease. So yeah, and then my sister had one that she got from New Mexico, and he lived forever. And then I used to have 2 turtles. They were actually really cool and awesome, and I love watching them guys. But I had to give them away when I moved to Atlanta. But now I'm back in South Carolina. But so one day, it was October 2015, I had gone to PetSmart to get more supplies for him, because bearded dragons are a lot to keep up with. As you can see, I'll go into detail with all of his cage and accessories and lighting, but I go on the PetSmart, and usually the bearded dragons you see at PetSmart, they're not the prettiest, let's put it that way. They're really small. They shouldn't be sold at that age, because they're I don't even know, they're an inch long sometimes. But I'd gone to see the dragons. Well, he caught my eye. Steve caught my eye, because he was in a cage by himself. He was a lot larger than the other babies in there, and he was by himself, which was weird. And usually the dragons at PetSmart are grayish. They're very gray, but he was orange. And I've been looking at one that was orange. You can't really tell because of the lighting, but he was orange. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the one. So I got him. I thought something was wrong with him or not. I don't know, but I got him, and he was awesome. When I first got him, he slept underneath that log his first night. And the next day, he was eating roaches. I didn't think he would eat at all, but he was eating, very happy, and he's been very good to me. But I'll go into detail about his cage. Well, first off, Steve is over a year old. He's he's a year and 2 months old, and you can see he's about 18, 19 inches long so far. But here's his cage. He's in a 40-gallon breeder. That's the minimum amount cage you can get. Some people start off at 20 gallons, then move up to the 40. But I think that's just stupid. You're just spending more money. And so here's his tank. Here's his food dish. I put his leaves in there, his collard greens. He loves those. Then there's just a rock. I was originally going to put that as the basking spot, but it gets too high to the light. So I have reptile carpet in here. I know people use calcium sand, and that leads to impaction. I mean, you can use them when they're an adult, and you still have to be careful. But for babies, you shouldn't use it. Here's a rock that I got from my backyard, and that just heats up underneath the light. And then there's a log. He used to get on that log a lot when he was a little guy, but he doesn't get on it anymore. So the reptile carpet I highly recommend. I mean, you can throw it in the washing machine, and you don't even have to dry it. You can just throw it back in there. It dries up really fast. And I mean, I've had this carpet for over a year, and it still looks brand new. So that's really the basics of this cage. I have a little background in there just to make it look a little realistic. And I'll go in the lighting. I have the Zoom Ed UV light. I used to have like one from PetSmart, but it was only like came from here to like right here, and I wanted one that went the length of the cage. So I have a little UV light in there, tube light. You can see it. And I know it doesn't penetrate through the screen here, but I'll go into more detail about his basking light. So for his basking light, I have a 160 watt mercury vapor bulb. These suckers are not cheap. These things are not cheap, but what's cool about the mercury vapor bulbs is they both emit UV and UVB. Well, that's what I said UV for that. That's UVB. Mercury vapor bulbs emit both UV and UVB, and at 160 watts, this sucker is hot. Like, that is hot. His rock reaches around 95 degrees, which is perfect. But I highly recommend those. They do not last long. This is the longest. This is the one, like, my past one only lasted like 5 months. This one's going on 6. I forget what I got. What brand? I was using the Zoom Ed. I think that this is Exoterra. The bulb in there is Exoterra. But I was using Zoom Ed, and those things were not lasting long. So I don't recommend Zoom Ed. Plus, they're more expensive. But Exoterra is working fine. I have this little contraption here to hang the bulb on because you don't want it on the screen. What's this stuff I got on the internet? Another thing you really need is a timer. His lights come on at 7 o'clock in the morning and turn off at 7:30 at night. So it's a full good 12 hours. He gets it every day. That's his cycle. When his lights turn off, he's passed out. But when I used to live in my old house, he was just on my dresser. But since I moved, I don't have a dresser in my room. I had to get a tank stand. So this tank stand was only $45, and it's from Petco, and I got it online. And I didn't think it would fit because there's like nothing to hold fit. There was an earthquake. I mean, I guess it would work, but I mean, I didn't think it would be big enough, or I thought it'd be too big or too small. But nope, it fit perfectly. But there was no thing underneath it but these 2 bars, so I just put a piece of cardboard underneath it to put the light stand on. As you can see, it's just like resting underneath there. But that's Steve. I feed him collard greens, and he gets either super worms or roaches, and I keep the roaches in my closet. They're a mess. I recommend them over crickets because they're not as messy, and they don't smell, and they don't make noises. Steve's just chilling. He's always underneath this light. Hey, Steve. How you doing, Steve? He's really cool. I bathe him. I give him a bath once a week so he doesn't get dehydrated. And people say bearded dragons make great beginner pets, but the work you gotta put in to get everything set up is crazy. Like leopard geckos, all you need is a 20-gallon tank and a basic basking bulb and light fixture. That's all you need. Maybe throw some reptile carpet or sand in there. But really, that's all you need. And crickets. No, these guys require so much, like their lighting and everything. I spent $400 in total. I know you can probably get cheaper, but I spent $400 in this whole setup. And what's funny was Steve was the cheapest thing I got. He was the cheapest. But yeah, everything was very expensive, and these guys, when they're very little, they eat a ton. So I was spending a bunch of money on roaches, worms, and they eat a ton. He was eating, gosh, I would feed him twice a day, but he was eating like close to 100 every day. That's crazy. He grew fast. Now he doesn't eat that much, but I still feed him. I feed him once a day. And he's gone over to his greens. He's already eaten his greens for the day, but he eats more greens than he does meat, protein. So that's what they do when they get older. But if you're looking for a bearded dragon as a beginner reptile, I'd just make sure you have the money to support them and know that they get big. He might stop growing at 18 inches, but they can get up to 24 inches, 2 feet long, and that's big. So if you're looking for a bearded dragon, I highly recommend it. Just know that they eat a lot and you're in for an adventure. The reason people say that they're good beginner pets is because they're very docile. I mean, you can throw them up on, I throw Steve up on my shoulder and he just will chill there. I let him run around my room and he'll play with my dogs. And they're just really cool. Now, they do have claws. He has some crazy sharp claws. And, like, if he's holding on to my arm and I try to pry him off, he'll actually cut into my skin and leave him. It'll get bloody. But, I don't know. Some people trim their claws. I don't. He has that rock. It files him down good enough for me. He's never tried to bite me before. He has hissed at me. They do hiss. Sounds like a cat. It's a little scary. And they do puff up twice their size if he gets mad. And also, the reason they call them bearded dragons is if they get real mad, they'll puff up their beard and turn it black and open up their mouth. And it just looks very scary. But, anyways, if you want a bearded dragon, do your research. I mean, I'd done so much research on these guys. I've been wanting one for years. So do your research. There's a form you can go on. I think you can just type in on Google, like bearded dragon form, and it pops up, and you can ask questions and all that good stuff. And people respond back pretty quickly because they're cool. What else? I take him outside a lot. I'm going to get him a harness to take him on walks. I don't think he'll go far because he's actually really lazy. And, if you get a dragon, do not hand feed them. Because if you hand feed them, they'll get lazy and they won't, go after their food. So now every time I feed him, I have to hold the worm or roach up to his face and he just takes his time, then he eats it. But if I put it, right next to him and it's running around, he will not go after it. He just looks at me like I'm stupid. But that's Steve. I'll do more videos on him. You'll see him in upcoming videos. I don't know what my next video is going to be. Gotta think it out. And just expect more content. My channel, I'm trying to get it rolling, trying to get it rolling, and just know I am the face. I am the face of the Lobster Freak. So, thank you for checking out my video. Like, subscribe, favorite, and hope you have a good day. And this is the Lobster Freak. I'm out.